Hey everybody, James Shepard here with another edition of the Merchant Sales Insight. I want to talk to you about a really interesting poll that I took in my private Facebook group. By the way, if you're an individual agent selling payment processing and you're not a member of that group, it's really awesome. Just go to Facebook and look up CC Sales Pro Community. We have more members there than any other group on Facebook. It is a lot of fun. We just talk about how to sell payment processing. But anyway, I took a poll in there, and here's the question I asked. I said, for those of you selling a program where you pass the cost of processing onto the consumer, which option are you selling primarily at this point? 33% are selling a non-cash adjustment or service fee program, so about a third. 14% are selling some kind of true cash discounting where you raise the price on the shelf or the menu and then you give a true cash discount at the point of sale. 5% are selling compliant surcharging where you don't add a fee to debit, signature or PIN debit. You only add the fee to credit. So that's only 5%. 48% are selling leading off with dual pricing where we have a cash and a card price. Now, these numbers are pretty staggering. To give you a little bit of context here, when I took this poll 12 months ago, all right, 75% were doing non-cash adjustment. Now it's 33%. And very few, I think maybe it was 10% or something, were doing some kind of dual pricing. Now that number's 48%. And I started talking about this back in April, so a little like 6 months ago. So it's pretty crazy when we see this huge shift in the market. And I want to talk to you about 3 things that I think you should take away from this poll. I'm going to cover them very briefly. Let me just say, this is one of the Merchant Sales Insights where you really want to download the PDF or listen to the audio version of it. And you can do that by going to ccsalespro.com/insights, and it'll be right there up at the top. You can click on it, download the PDF and read it. Or if you click on the audio version there, that's like an audio book. So I read it. I think it's like something like maybe 20 minutes or something like that, 15 minutes to 20 minutes. So there's a lot that I cover about compliance and things like that that I'm not going to cover here just because I'm trying to make a short little video, right? But I want to give you 3 takeaways real quick. Number 1, dual pricing is growing. And no shocker there, right? Dual pricing is growing. I've been a little surprised by how quickly it's grown, but I think at this point, it's kind of like the leading, every terminal has dual pricing. Every processor is offering dual pricing. And of course, not everyone is doing it, but that's really growing. What I thought was super interesting was when I engaged with the agents in the comments below this poll, a lot of the ones, the 33% that do non-cash adjustment, the reason they're doing that is that they like a certain point of sale system or a processing partner who doesn't have dual pricing yet. And there are still quite a few who don't. That's a problem. If you're one of those technology companies or processors, you really need to put dual pricing at the top of your list. Make sure you have a dual pricing program. Make sure you're calling it a dual pricing program because that's the language the industry has adopted. And, we're going to see that 48%, I think, go to 70% in 6 months. So that's a really important change. Secondly, non-cash adjustment is declining. The main reason it's declining is because of the compliance issues. I just had a really long conversation with the CEO of a processing company a few days ago where we're dealing with this stuff. In a lot of cases, it's like we're trying to be compliant, but it's like at the end of the day, Visa really cares about 2 things. The line item on the receipt for a debit transaction, they hate that. The second thing they don't like is, when they made this settlement with the merchants 10 years ago, where merchants agreed not to surcharge debit transactions. So they want to hold to that. But what we've seen is dual pricing, when it's implemented correctly, it works really well. And I've got a bunch of other things in the downloadable or the audio version talking about the scope of compliance. I don't believe it's our responsibility to monitor the menu or the shelf pricing. That's up to the merchant to make sure they're in compliance with state and local laws, consumer disclosure laws. Our job is to make sure that the point of sale system, the terminal, the receipt, all of that stuff is compliant. But I'm not going to dive into that too much here because I cover all of that in a nice long section there in the printed version. Lastly, surcharging and cash discounting are becoming niche. Okay. Surcharging and cash discounting are becoming niche. And they're becoming a niche because surcharging is becoming kind of the higher ticket card not present solution. And this true cash discounting, people are just worried about the margin there. If somebody actually changes the single price on the shelf of the menu to the higher price and they're offering a true discount at the counter, what do they need you for? Right? Eventually, aren't they going to switch to interchange plus pricing and keep that extra 100 basis points or whatever it is, right? And that's kind of the concern there. So interesting trends. It's just really cool to see dual pricing taking off. I will tell you from experience working with a lot of the bigger companies doing this, the customer complaints with dual pricing, once we remove the line item from the receipt, the customer complaints drop off a cliff. So do the compliance issues that pop up. Everything. It's amazing the difference. So no mystery there why that's taken off. This edition is brought to you by North American Bank Card. I would really encourage you to check out their program called Edge. I want to give them props. They were one of the first big processors to do dual pricing. I only know of 3 large ones that were doing it prior to 2022. And so that's pretty cool. But they have their Edge program. They saw the compliance headaches coming with a non-cash adjustment. And so they adapted to that environment and created Edge, which is their dual pricing program. Really, I would encourage you to check it out. They have it with a lot of their point of sale systems, have it integrated in a compliant way. Their terminals do, their smart terminals. So go check it out. The website is gonab.com. So it's gonab.com, gonab.com. Go check it out. Reach out to them and learn more about their program. They have a great white label program. If you're an ISO looking to white label and use your logo and your brand, if you're an ISV and you need gateway solutions to set up the dual pricing and all that, they've got that. So, individual agent, they've got great compensation. So they kind of check all the boxes. Check them out. It's gonab.com. My name is James Shepard. Thank you for taking time to watch this edition of the Merchant Sales Insight. And like I said, head over to ccsalespro.com/insights. And make sure you download the latest one there so you can read the PDF, or if you're driving and you want to listen to it, just listen to the audio version so you can get all the compliance information that I have in there as well, which I believe is going to be really valuable to you. So thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day, and I hope you have a great rest of the week.